I was drafted by the Green Bay Packers in the 4th round in 1999. Led the nation in punting my senior year. Had developed into one of the best punters that year in all of football, and thought, man, I have a shot to play in the NFL. This is great. I got drafted in the 4th round. Went out and played 3 preseason games out of the 4 with the Green Bay Packers. Coaches called me in and said, hey, we cut the other guy. There's no backups in the NFL. You're the starting punter for the Green Bay Packers. You earned it. And I thought, boy, that's amazing. That was a Sunday after our 3rd to last preseason game. Come Wednesday, the day before our final preseason game against Miami Dolphins, then we were going to head right into the regular season. Something was wrong with my body. It just didn't feel right. I went in and had one of our doctors give me an exam, and he said, you know, we need to get this looked at pretty quickly. And within the span of 6 hours that day, I was diagnosed, operated on, and released for testicular cancer. So just a few days after achieving a dream that I've had since I was 4 years old, it was all taken away like that. And the doctor said, you know what, we have no idea how bad it is. So we're going to let you just kind of sit around for a little while. Test results are going to come back from the tumor, and we'll let you know on Monday. But he did say there's a chance it could be okay. It could be good cancer, they call it, not spreading. We've removed it and you'll be just fine. But when it came back, it had all 4 types of cells. 3 of those cells are extremely aggressive. The cancer had likely spread because of the size of the tumor. And the first words out of the doctor's mouth when he called me into a meeting was, you're done. And I remember thinking, done living, done playing, done, I mean, can you be more specific? What exactly does that mean? And he said, certainly football is the least of your concerns right now. And I tell you what, that was a day that just rings in my ears right now like it happened yesterday. My wife and I, she was my girlfriend at the time, we were walking out of the players' tunnel to the players' parking lot at Lambeau Field in Green Bay, Wisconsin. And I was trying to put on a real strong face for them, and or for her, and I was trying to, I guess, be a little tougher than I really was. And we got about halfway down the hall, and I just broke down crying. I fell down. I've never been so weak in my entire life. And I wasn't crying because I was afraid to die. I know where I'm going to go when I die. That's why we have faith in God. But I was just terrified that I had no idea what was going to happen tomorrow. And the doctor said, hey, you could be fine, and the worst news came back. And then sure enough, over the course of the next few months, the doctors would say, hey, we're just going to take some tests. I had another major surgery to remove some lymph nodes in my abdomen area. They came back positive, so the cancer had spread. The worst of our fears had actually come true. And all of a sudden, it just keeps getting worse. And the only news I was getting was bad news. And I would ask a doctor, can you tell me if I'm going to live or not? And they said, well, you know, we can't tell you. And we have a good chance we could do this, but we can't tell you that. And that type of uncertainty in my life at 23 years old gave me 2 real emotions. The first one was, man, thank you, Lord, for saving me my sophomore year in high school, because I know where my eternity lies. But man, Lord, I can't do this without you, because I have no idea how to handle such a helpless situation. And that's what I felt. I was completely dependent on what God had in store for me for the next few months. And that was a tough deal for me to have to deal with. So over the course of the next few months after my second surgery, we had chemotherapy. My wife and I, had chemotherapy treatments for the next 4 months, and just had a chance to really sit back and grow and ask God what He has for me. I never asked Him why, and I don't want people to feel bad if they do ask that. It's a good question, because God will answer that too. But I just kind of knew He was in control, and He was sovereign, and everything was going to work out to His will. And I just kept asking, you know, what's going to happen here? And I'm just so weak. I can't move on my own. I can't do anything for myself. And I know you're teaching me a lot about submission right now. And He just told me, you just got to let me have total control. And so I learned that. I learned that the hard way. And by the time we got to the end of my chemotherapy treatments, the doctor said, hey, your blood work looks fantastic. And we are 99.9% sure we got it. And I remember that day just thinking, man, you know, I didn't know, but I guess I did know, you know, that God was going to take care of me. I knew that He was going to have a plan for my life, however short it was going to be. But at this point, when I was getting that news, I just felt like, all right, here we go. And professional football started to come back into my mind. And the Packers, true to their word, said, hey, we want you to come back when you're healthy enough and compete for the job. We're not going to give it to you. And sure enough, I went back that very next year and showed up at camp in July and August and won the job. Had to punt about 8 guys out of a job, and they finally said, you know, that's why we drafted you. We knew you had the talent, and we're just so happy you're healthy and strong. And boy, I just can't believe I'm standing here today. I'm about ready to enter my 10th NFL season. My girlfriend and I, our husband and wife now, He taught us so much about how much we love each other and how much we need each other. We have a 2.5-year-old son, Brady, and a 1.5-year-old son, Aaron. And I've actually been to a Pro Bowl, the NFL's All-Star game. So not only did I get back to achieve my dream just for 1 year, which is my goal each and every year, is just to get one more, but he's strung together a great career for me, great success on the field, but ultimately he's taught me lessons that I'll never, ever forget about how sovereign he is and how much he loves each and every one of us. And for that, I will always, always be grateful that I had cancer.